Welcome to this overview of Bionic Contest from Broadcast Bionics. In this video, I'm going to step through each of the screens in the Bionic Contest system and introduce you to how that connects through to Bionic Studio. And we'll go into much more detail about how to do each step in separate videos. So the first thing you're going to need is your login location, and you're going to get that from your local support team because it varies depending on where you work. And when you double click that, you'll then come to a login screen. So put in whatever login details you have been given. Now, because I'm an admin, I've got full system access. So it might be that on your system, you don't have quite as many options as I do on mine. And that's perfectly normal. It's just down to different user rights restrictions. So you're going to log in and you'll see the summary for the main station that you work at. But we'll go along from the top so that you see all the different menus. If you come over here and press the transmitter icon, you can switch to a view that gives you an overall summary of all of the stations that you have permissions to view. It could be that you work at more than one radio station, or maybe you have different versions of your radio station going out in different parts of the country and different contests running in different areas. So if you click that transmitter, you'll always be able to come to the overview screen to see what's going on each of your stations and how much administration work you need to do, if there are prizes that need sending, and how much cash is available in the cash pot. Depending on your system admin rights, you can also create template letters here to send out to prize winners, which is really handy because it stops you having to write your station address 14 times a day or 100 times a day, depending on how many prizes you have. And you can also add and remove users and look at system analytics. As I say, don't panic if you can't see all of these options. It will purely be down to the user rights access that you have at your station and that you've been given. If you click the home button, you'll then see a summary for whichever station you are currently working at. And again, this will give you an overview of all of the jobs that need to be completed and any prizes which have been scheduled incorrectly. Don't worry, because this is my test system, I set up all kinds of contests for demonstration all the time. I'm not really that behind on the admin. On the contest screen, this is where we create our competitions. So we can give away prizes, those are physical things or maybe things like tickets, and we can give away cash, proper money. We've also got the option to create contests that are cash accumulator or prize accumulator. So that's one of those competitions where you start out on day one maybe with $1,000 on offer, and every day that people don't get the information correct, they give you the wrong answer, we add more to that prize fund until somebody eventually wins the prize. So this is where you'd set up your contest and which dates it was allowed to run between, and also write a script for the presenter. We can then add prizes to the system. So prizes can be general giveaways, the things that you have in your prize cupboard. Maybe you've got some t-shirts in medium and some t-shirts in large, or you've got some mugs or some stickers. And they can also be prizes that are linked to a specific competition. So if you've got a contest to win a pair of tickets for the theatre on Saturday evening, you'd add them in here and you'd link them to the theatre competition. So in here you've got an overview of what prizes are available, and this is where you manage everything to make sure that people don't accidentally give away stuff that was meant for your programme on their programme. The liners area is where you write your liners. So they could be liners that are linked to promoting a competition in some way. Perhaps you've got a big thing like winning $1 million running on your breakfast show and you want other programs throughout the day to promote it. Or it could be something that is nothing to do with a contest and you're just using the system to manage how many reads that your presenter is doing on air. So we've got one here for Bob's Barbecues. Bob's Barbecues has got to be read 30 times, so we've put the script in and then we can schedule that in to make sure that it is read accordingly. When your presenter reads a liner, they can press a little button and it links back to this system so that you know the right number of reads have been done. The schedule is where we schedule our contests and our liners. So today we've scheduled in the Home Time Holiday contest. I could go into my liners and simply drag in wherever I wanted them to go. I can set repeats, I can set rules about when things can and can't be scheduled. So this is just somewhere where if you are administering the prizes and the competitions, you can make sure that the right information is being sent to the right program. This links through to the Bionic Studio system so that the scripts appear for the presenter at the right time for their show. The draws area allows you to administer competitions that involve a random draw. This can also be done within the Studio module, but sometimes you might be running a contest that's just happening on your website and you'll have a lot of people who are entering via a web form, for example, and within here is where you can choose the winner at random and also make sure that you've got an audit trail so that you can prove that nobody's been cheating the system. And then we have the Winners tab. And this is where you can see all of the people who've won a prize. You can set a filter to see all the people who have recently won a prize, and then you know that they are someone that you need to arrange for the prize to be sent to or received. So you can click on their name and then mark whether or not this is going to be posted or collected, and keep a trail at each stage to indicate that the prize has been sent or is in transit, so that if anybody phones the station, you know exactly the location of each of the prizes. So that's an overview of the management module, the online module that kind of helps you keep track of prizes and contests behind the scenes. But then this system also links into Bionic Studio. So if we open up Bionic Studio, I can see if I come onto my contests tab that I have got a contest for my program, and I've also got a liner to read, as well as some backup liners in case I run out of material, so things that aren't scheduled for now but I could read if I wanted to. So if I'm the presenter, I can put those into my on-air queue and then read them out. I'll just flip into the presenter view so that it's easy to see. So you can see I've got my script there. I know exactly what I have to say for my liner. If I then tick the red button, that will then go back through to the main system to tally that I have actually read that as I was meant to, and that there are now only 29 reads of that left to go for the time that Bob has bought. And then I've got my script for my contest. And if we were having a competition where winners were phoning or texting in, if I was the person who was producing the show, I could then very, very easily line up whoever was the winner with the contest record, take their address, and then all the information would feed back into the main Bionic Contest system so that whoever had to send out the prize had got all of the information. So that's a very brief overview of how Bionic Contests fits together. You have the management module that lets you create the contests, add the prizes, manage the winners, write your liners, schedule everything together, all of that. And then it hooks in to your Bionic Studio so that your production team know what they need to do, and they can also register the winners and then send that information back to the management module. I hope that was useful, and I look forward to seeing you on another video.